This is the Coin Show Podcast. The show about coins and coin collecting. And not just any show. This is the #1 coin collecting podcast, going 10 years strong. Here's Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman on the Coin Show Podcast.
Love that music.
It is catchy, isn't it?
Yes. On episode 166-ish of the Coin Show Podcast, we'll talk about the coolest thing that walked into each other's shop. We'll answer some listener questions. But first, as always, the news.
That just sounds so distinguished, like we're breaking some news, doesn't it?
Yeah, but then we got to fix it.
I know.
So, the news is brought to you by cakes. The variety is nearly endless. Available in coffee, cheese, pound, layer, sponge, urinal, and everyone's favorite, patty cakes. You may love them all, but I'm not sure you should eat them all. Cakes.
Oh, good one. I love that one. This is my new favorite, I think, of all time.
I strive to raise the bar.
That was a good one.
Matt, the American Numismatic Association has reached the inevitable conclusion and finally canceled the 2020 World Fair of Money.
Wah, wah. Wait, where is it? Where's my sound?
The show, which was scheduled for August 4th through 8th, was originally postponed in June, but was finally canceled on July 14th by a vote of the Board of Governors. The World's Fair of Money has only been canceled twice before, in 1918 due to influenza and in 1945 due to World War II travel restrictions and other austerity measures.
I mean, it's been kind of rumbled that was going to happen here, so it does not surprise me in the slightest that it's been canceled.
In my opinion, and as I wrote in the news, it's inevitable. It truly is inevitable. You're just not going to get it done this year.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So many things that you have to coordinate, and it's just not going to be possible.
Right. I agree.
ANA President Steve Ellsworth said that the move was made in order for the ANA to refocus the organization's maximum efforts on emergence and growth out of the pandemic crisis. So I think that's a very clear direction. I think that's good. I think that it's helpful to have a direction rather than looking back and trying to make something happen that didn't.
Yeah, and I mean it's more than that. I think it's just a safety thing. I mean, you got to realize that the majority of the people that go to these big shows are in that high risk category. So it's not so much that they fear that it might be, transmission. But if it does, there is transmission, then a lot of these people will be in trouble, big trouble. So I think that they did the right thing.
Well, it was like, I think it was Father's Day. I'm sure I shared the video with you of Mel Brooks and his son.
I think you might have, yeah.
On social distancing, and he had Mel Brooks on the inside of the glass, and he was on the outside of the glass.
Oh, yeah.
I can't talk to my father. I can't hug him, because if I do, then he might pass it on to Carl Reiner, who might pass it on to Dick Van Dyke. And before you know it, I've wiped out an entire generation of comedy legends.
Yeah, well,
so it's just
that's exactly what might happen, but with coin legends, unfortunately.
Right. So I think that what I'm actually very proud of is that this shows me real leadership on the part of Steve. That he's saying, look, we can't really focus on that anymore, and he's giving us a focus and giving the ANA a place to go.
Certainly.
So the next scheduled ANA show is the National Money Show, slated for next March in Phoenix, Arizona.
It's hard to say if that's even going to go off, to be honest with you.
Good luck, Phoenix. We'll see what happens. So with the news of the Pittsburgh cancellation, the ANA has announced that the 2023 World's Fair of Money will be held in Pittsburgh if they can make a better deal on the venue than was going to transpire in 2020.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least it sounds like they want to come back. I like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a cool city. I've been there quite a few times. It would be a great city for a big coin show. It's just it's just a dollars and cents thing, I think, with that decision. So
Yeah, but I kind of wonder why they're dragging that one out in public. You know what I mean? Why do you have to throw that? Why do you have to air this dirty laundry? Why is it like they're going to come back if they can make a better deal on the bet? It's like, hold
Well,
on.
that just shows the members, the dues paying members, that they're trying to be frugal with the money that's spent on these shows.
I just think it's bad faith negotiating. I don't know. Whatever. Board of Governors is believed to be in favor of looking elsewhere if a more favorable deal cannot be reached. Now, some members will favor moving the convention permanently to Rosemont, Illinois.
Which works out well for us.
Yeah, well, I personally would find this really convenient. I believe it to be in the interest of the ANA as a hobby organization to make the convention accessible to the largest number of people possible.
Right.
And that would be best served by moving the location from year to year. An alternative suggestion, though, and I like the idea of holding it every other year in a central location like Rosemont and traveling in the opposite years. And I see this in bowling with the USBC Open Championships. They're held in Reno every other year, and then they move it around every the years in between.
Cool. I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, what it does is it lets you have. See, if they have the convention in the same place every year, there are economies to that. In that, you can have a much more permanent arrangement. You can negotiate stronger. You can actually build more infrastructure for getting it done.
Right. Yeah.
So it's easier to do that kind of stuff. So it behooves you to do that, but at the same time, you're also tying it down to a specific location, and that's not always just the best thing to do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The New York International Numismatic Society is planning their 2021 convention.
Okay.
So scheduled for January 8th through 17th at the Grand Hyatt, New York, hopefully, when the world can travel again by then.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Early bird registration is $125. The fee includes admission during public hours as well. So Board Chairman Kevin Foley stated that they are within 5 booths of a total sellout. I would assume that the layout takes social distancing guidelines into account. So
I would hope so, because if not, they may be in trouble.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing. So, when we think of a show at the Grand Hotel or the Grand Hyatt in New York, you have expectations that it's this big room. So it's going to be like, an ANA, and you walk in there and it's like there's tables every 6 feet and there's, one dealer there. And,
yeah, I don't want that.
Well, it'll still be a show. I think they'll go.
Yeah, sure.
They will come. Let's see. The finest known 1883S Morgan dollar will come up for auction this August.
Wow. That coin's pretty.
You ask, an 1883S, isn't that a fairly common date? And why would it matter if that's the case? And the story of the 83S is not the typical Morgan dollar story. Instead of a large portion of these being kept in bank vaults, a large portion of these went into circulation. And so as such, they're relatively common, but the vast majority of them have some form of wear from circulation. Yeah. Gem mint state examples are truly rare with this coin, and about 100 are known to exist. This coin is graded MS67 plus proof-like.
That's a monster coin.
By PCGS.
Coin.
67 plus proof-like.
Wow.
Yeah. So its roots can be traced back to the Chapman Brothers collection in 1904, where it was cataloged as uncirculated with proof surfaces and sold for $2.25.
Wait, $2.25? Well, I guess
1904. Yeah. Right. So it was
that
an 1883 coin, relatively common coin, but it was high end, and people didn't collect by date and mint mark back then.
Wow.
So the next time the coin surfaced was at part of the Eliasberg collection in 1997.
So it must be the finest known.
Yes, the coin is a top pop for all categories of Morgan dollars. So I have a feeling it's going to sell for a little bit more than $2.50.
I think you're probably right. I don't know if it's top pop for all categories of Morgans. I know there's a couple MS69s that exist. So
well, yes, but that was I'm talking about for 1883S.
Okay, yeah, top pop for 83S.
Of 83S, this one is the top pop.
That doesn't surprise
me. In other certification news, PCGS Banknote has certified an 1890 Grand Watermelon note.
Ooh, I love these things.
Oh, I mean, there's not many of them.
No.
to Coin Week, the finest known example of the ultra rare 1890 $1,000 grand watermelon treasury note.
I'm going to bring up a picture here so everybody can see why they call it the grand watermelon.
Yeah, so this was issued in 100 as well as $1,000 denominations and originally redeemable in gold or silver coin. They were dubbed watermelon notes because of the color and design of the large zeros on the reverse of the note.
They surely look like watermelon.
To be reporting by Coin Week.
Cool. Well, I mean, it's glad to see that they're actually, PCGS banknotes getting some traction and they're certifying some big notes.
Yes. So the $1,000 note, commonly referred to as the grand watermelon, is extremely rare, given the large face value of this 1890 vintage note. So $1,000 roughly equivalent to 29 grand today.
Good Lord.
Not exactly pocket change. It was scarcely seen outside of interbank commerce. This particular rarity was cataloged by both Friedberg brothers, and saw a tiny printing of only 16,000. Just 2 are known today.
This is $1 million note.
Yeah.
I mean, this is believe it was the first note to bring over $1 million. Yeah, it says right here. First bank note to bring.
First note to bring over $1,000 or $1 million at auction. It did so in 2005.
Wow. Cool. Super cool
and
note.
I think, look, PCGS Banknote graded this note for the publicity.
Oh, I almost guarantee it.
I have no real problem with that. It's important for them to have graded important pieces.
Well, I mean,
this is really an important piece.
I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see. These guys getting back into the paper money game. With the debacle that kind of went on with the spinoff of the old PCGS currency. And the hot mess that all turned into. I'm glad to see that they're getting back into the game, and it's nice to see a really, really high end note in one of their holders. So,
well, you have to have some alternative place to grade your notes.
Right.
You can't just have one grading company. It doesn't really work well.
Right, for sure. So
yeah. So let's see. Federal officials are investigating the attempted sale of a fake $300,000 Stella coin.
Oh, Lord.
The counterfeit coin was sold in a counterfeit MGC holder with a certification number and grade for a genuine coin. So the dealer who purchased the coin suspected it wasn't genuine and confirmed his suspicions with NGC and other numismatic experts.
He purchased the coin, but thought it was fake. That doesn't make a ton of sense, but okay.
Well, it may have been a sight unseen transaction, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's quite possible, I guess.
It's in a holder. So he gets the coin and then he starts wondering about it. So,
you look at the holder, you can see it's fake. I've studied these a lot.
Yeah. There's no way he bought it over the counter.
No.
So, when he got it, he suspected it wasn't genuine and of course, started trying to get his money back and all that stuff. So the seller also offered a 1793 America chain set in VF20 NGC, an 1800 drape bust dollar in AU58 NGC, and an 1871 CC seated dollar in AU55 NGC. But if you say this slab is that bad, it's
Well, if you look at this, if you look at the pictures here of the insert, it's really blurry. It's not set the same way that they're set in the holders now. The font's not the same. The numbers are slightly different. Just little stuff. If you look at a lot of NGC holders, you can pick them out really quick. But these have been floating around now. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said it looks fuzzy, and I'm not sure that's the picture.
Right. It's not. There's been quite a few of these floating around. We've seen a few of them in the office and at coin shows and shops. I had a little coin show here a couple years ago. One of the dealers got nailed by a 89cc in AU for like $8,000. That was counterfeit. The slab was counterfeit. The coin was counterfeit. The whole thing. He wasn't real happy when I showed it to him and showed him why.
Well, this counterfeiter is, he clearly has a he or she.
These are coming out of China. These are Chinese.
Yeah. But no, I don't want to be sexist about it, but it's like whoever it is, they're taking genuine certification numbers and grades, and they're creating the coins to go in.
Right. They're definitely getting more complex, but yeah, these are coming out of China. You can buy them on some certain Chinese website that's similar to eBay. I'm not going to name it, but that's where they come from, and then people buy them here and then try to sell them. We see it a lot. It's just like any other counterfeit good. It happens.
Yeah. So the seller has sold coins in both California and Minnesota, which now makes it a federal case.
Get 'em.
So authorities are kind of, drawing up how to proceed as far as, who wants what parts. But yeah, I'm quite certain that this will be prosecuted on several levels.
Get 'em.
Successful.
No excuse for that.
No. And for those of you who've been paying attention to your local news outlets, there's a coin shortage going on.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. But that reporting really isn't very accurate. So, it's funny. I looked at my phone tonight, and my sister, other sister who lives in North Carolina, she texted me, and she's like, "So what's up with this coin shortage?" I had to explain it to her. So I think this is important. So U.S. coin production has topped 6.5 billion coins in the first half of 2020.
Coin shortage, my foot.
Yeah, well, to quote Caddyshack, so what's the problem, Danny? The problem is the distribution issue, and that's really what it is. The coins are in short supply, but not because the mint isn't making them, it's because retail stores aren't ordering them.
Right.
A lot of other outlets are not accepting coin. And so what's happening is, the bank gets less of it in, and then the stores draw it out. Now the bank starts having less. They're not pulling enough through the Fed.
Well, and I was going to say, you see signs everywhere. I saw some the other day that says, I think it's kind of an excuse almost. They're saying, "Oh, there's a coin shortage. Please make sure to use either correct change or debit or credit card." And I think they just want you to use that credit card because there's less contact.
Yes, I think that there is a lot of that going on, and it's not necessarily overt.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't fault somebody for having a higher level of precaution or caution than I do. I can't judge that. But at least be open about it and say that that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So, the Fed doesn't order, or they don't order it from the Fed, and if they don't, the banks don't really order them from the Fed, then, you're not going to get these massive amounts of change through the system, and that makes the entire supply smaller. But the coins are there, so, at any point where, we actually start using coin, there will be more available.
Yeah, it'll start showing back up, but I'm just waiting for somebody to offer a premium for it because I've got a 5-gallon bucket full to the top at the office.
Well, didn't we see a post today on like VCS or someplace like that had a bank in Wisconsin was paying they were paying $10 bonus per $100 in coin.
I'm in. Let's go.
But if you bring 100, you get 110 back, right? If you bring 180, you get 190 back. If you bring 200, you get 220.
Yeah, well, just make it nice and even, and I'll be on the road tomorrow taking it up there for that. Like I said, I have a 5-gallon bucket I can't pick up, so there's lots of money in there.
We just dumped ours. Just dumped ours into the Fed. Proof sets are done being the biggest sellers at the U.S. Mint.
Finally.
Hold on.
You and your sound effects, I like it.
This is actually making people happy. The burnished, uncirculated silver American Eagles are now available. So they are sold almost 100,000 the very first day at $54 per.
Right.
100,000 the first day, 1 ounce coins at $54 a piece. Yeah.
Well, if silver keeps running, that might not be a bad price.
But then the price is going to go up.
Well, sure, I know. I was just making a joke.
$22. No, but silver's up to $22 today.
Pardon my attempt at a joke. Good Lord.
Anyway, so there's a current sales figure of over 140,000 coins.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, That is a lot. So proof sets are done being the biggest sellers. Now people buy Burnished, Uncirculated Silver Eagles. Next thing you know, proofs will be back out.
Yeah, I don't even think they've released them yet, have they? The 2020s?
So, because I think we have them. But maybe they didn't. Maybe I'm just thinking not 2019.
I could be wrong, but I'm not sure they're out yet.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I don't think we have them yet. So yeah, we'll be getting those pretty soon too. Prices have been released for the Basketball Hall of Fame colorized silver dollar and clad half dollar.
Ooh,
Yeah,
colorized.
well, to me, it's disappointing to see that the colorized version of the silver dollar, which should be your premium coin, features a red rim as the color feature. That's it.
Yeah, well, how much more does that red rim cost than a regular coin?
It's amazing. First of its kind, available only for $95.
$95 versus what are the regular coins?
$21 for a colorized rim.
Wow.
I mean, the clad half, right, at least features a colorized basketball and rim.
Well, but they have to do that on that coin because the clad coins nobody likes.
Right, but it's what I would have expected all the time from the mint. So, you know, if had they done this to the silver dollar, the $21, cool. I'm cool with that.
Right, 100%.
Right. Now, that said, the clad half dollar is $55.
Good Lord.
Which is up $44 from the monochromatic version, or
right.
up from $44. So it's $11 more.
I was going to say up $44. Wow.
It's up 25% though.
So I have a question on these. Which one becomes the first colorized United States coin? How do we know which one it is? Or is it just like they both hold that distinction?
They both hold that distinction. It's like first gold coins to be issued, you know, by the U.S. Mint in 1984 were the Olympic ones. There's a Philadelphia, there's a Denver, but they're the Olympic coins.
Yeah,
right?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Unless they sell one a day earlier than the other one.
Right.
Then you get technical. But I was just curious, that's all.
We'll trample each other, all that stuff. The Mint also posted the prices for the 2020 Women's Suffrage Centennial Commemorative silver dollars and the silver dollar and metal set. Now, I have to say I like the design of the silver metal better than the design of the coin.
I gotta find it here. Let's see. I don't see it. I just see the coin.
Let's see.
I see the $1 coin at the top of the story, but I don't see the metal.
Hold on a second. I'll try and help you out.
I'm not sure I'll be able to get it pulled up, but I'll try. Let's see here. Huh? Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay, here. Let me give you a link.
Type.
No typing.
Done. Done.
Look in the chat on Discord.
Coming in hot.
Incoming.
I can't. Nope. Can't. Don't worry about it. No big deal.
So without dragging the show to a screeching halt, the Women's Suffrage Centennial Medal, okay, is not. It doesn't bear a denomination. It has hands holding up a rock.
Okay.
And I really like the symbolism of that. There's a very young hand that can't quite reach, but it's reaching to help too. And then it says on the reverse, the right of the citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state on account of sex.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind the coin even. The coin's not bad.
No, the coin's not bad, but I like the metal even better. So they have a set with the metal and the coin.
Okay.
And there's only 10,000 of them, so that's going to be a relatively low mintage for the metal. Household limit of one set, which I don't think for this is really going to matter. But the metal set only adds $46 to the price, and if it's the only way to get it, it might be a desirable item.
Right. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And finally in the news, NGC has introduced yet another designation category for coins.
Another designation category for coins.
Yes, NGC has announced the addition of an early production designation to its stable of slab ponies.
Oh my, so that means early release, first strike, early production.
Right. So here's what gets me, though. It's like we all know, at least I think, it's pretty obvious. NGC is trying to give collectors an early strike designation, but to this point, both the early releases and the early production designation both mean the same thing. The coins came from a set that was shipped at release.
So it says, I'm reading the story here. It says anything that arrives at NGC's approved depository in mint sealed packaging that is dated on or before January 31st of the year of the coin's issue. Huh.
There you go.
So if you didn't open your stuff and you left it in the package.
Right, but you could still get late, worn out dies and stuff. You could get that anyway.
Right.
You'd get a low percentage of 69s. I think really what they're trying to create, and what they've always been trying to create, is an early die state designation. Is I think what they're trying to do.
Sure, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I think that would be valuable, right? Early die states are generally going to be higher grade coins because they're going to be well preserved, less marks, all that kind of stuff.
I like the idea, but I don't think they ever implement it because it becomes a lot harder to grade a monster box of eagles if you have to figure out which die state they are each coin.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I do, but I think that's really what I think what they're trying to create in the collector's mind.
Okay, as to what that's what they're marketing. I got you.
Releases. That's what they're marketing. That's what their barker is saying. Come and see.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I don't know. What I think people really want is that early die state designation, and it's not really easy to determine. And you're right, it's going to slow down the grading process. So, I mean, do you really think that's going to work?
I sure don't.
No. And that's the news.
Brought to you by?
This week, the news is brought to you by Cakes. The variety is nearly endless, available in coffee, cheese, pound, layer, sponge, urinal, and everybody's favorite patty cakes. You may love them all, but I'm not sure you should eat them all. Cakes.
You're listening to the Coin Show Podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman.
Urinal cakes.
I live but to make you laugh, sir. Yeah, the big white breath mint that sits down the bottom.
When we started doing this show tonight, I didn't think to myself, hey, we're going to be talking about some urinal cakes tonight. No.
Hey, you got to take the sponsors where they come, bud.
I love it. Oh, man.
So, well, this being episode 166-ish, did we do a segment in the middle on Monday?
No, we just.
I think we really did. I think we tried. I think we, attempted one.
We were after some listener questions.
Yes. Yeah. So why don't we?
We had a little segment about me complaining about the audio, but.
Well, I mean, that was the majority of the listener feedback.
Right.
Was that the audio sucks.
Yes, and that's why we're here doing episode 166 and a half.
6-ish. Yes. Oh, and here I have a challenge for the loyal Coin Show fans.
Okay.
So YouTube has been kind of a new thing for us, right? Facebook, we have a ton of followers. We have a private group. We have all this kind of stuff going on, right?
There's almost 1,000 people in the friends group.
All right. So we have more than enough people in our friends group alone to get this done.
Uh-oh.
You'll notice I'm wearing a pink shirt.
I see that. I was kind of...
Pink shirt.
Is that more like a salmon?
No, this is pink. This is like highlighter pink.
Gotcha.
And it was a gift yesterday from my kids. And
pink is the new black.
Sure, why not? So here's my challenge to the Coin Show listeners. 750 followers on YouTube. We get 750 subscribers on YouTube.
Okay.
In September, for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I will dye my hair this color pink.
Wait, what?
I will dye my hair highlighter pink for the month of September for Breast Cancer Awareness if we can get 750 subscribers on YouTube.
Did you clear this with your boss?
No. Oh yeah. That is cool.
Even
It
better.
was funny because my daughter and I were my daughter came and visited the shop last week, right?
Right.
And she had actually normal colored hair, but she normally has very, very brightly colored hair.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that, and she made a slot, kind of a sly comment to my boss about, yeah, well, he's always been threatening to dye his hair pink in September, and I'm like, yeah, well, I can't do that anymore. And my boss looks at me and goes, oh yeah, you can. I'm like, really? He says, yeah, you can. I'm like, okay,
guys,
I'm told you that.
Guys, we have to make this happen. This is going to happen. You guys got to go to YouTube.
Subscribers, I will dye my hair hot pink for the entire month of September.
This has to happen. It's required. It's required to happen. We need to figure out a way. I might have to get out 750 email addresses of my own just to do this. But it would be helpful if you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. But just search the coin. Let me think. Let me make sure I give it out right.
How do you like me now?
See, I like that. I like surprises. I like those kind of surprises.
Yeah, you like those kind of surprises. Not my usual.
Right. Search the Coin Show podcast on YouTube. We have 343 subscribers right now, so we're just about halfway there already. So
you need 107
right
to get to 750. That's more than what we have.
Right.
So that's a little bit of a quest, but you know what?
Oh, my friend, you have no idea.
750 subscribers. I will dye it hot pink. I will dye it highlighter pink the entire month of September.
Oh, that's amazing! I can't wait. We're doing this. I've got so many things going through my mind right now of ways to get people to help out with this and go subscribe on YouTube. But I'm stoked. I can't wait to see your pink hair. What about the beard?
No, the beard is way too hard because you have to dye it, continuously.
Yes, I know. I'm just
every
kidding.
couple of days.
Oh my goodness, that is probably like the best thing I've heard all night. So thanks. Get on it, guys. Get on it.
Episode 166-ish history.
Wow. So we moving on to our contest.
What contest?
And now for the coolest thing to walk in this week. A competition segment between Matt and Mike to see who's had the coolest thing walk into their shops. Who'll win this episode? Let's find out. Matt? Mike? Who's got the coolest thing?
Well, I certainly expected to do the coolest thing, but didn't we field some listener questions? Was kind of I completely derailed that. Wow,
that's all right. I liked your announcement better than doing the questions right at that point. So I figured we just make a segment of that.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
Oh my goodness, it'll be amazing. I'm so excited.
It'll be a lot of fun.
All right,
I'm looking forward to doing it. I really hope they make me do it.
I do too. So, anyways, who's going first? Did I go first last time, or was it you?
It's my turn to go first because I went first on Monday.
All right, here you go. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Let me take a look at what I have because I sent you that picture. I got to take a look at it. So what I have is something that, for all intents and purposes, really shouldn't exist, and kind of puzzles me a little bit in that regard. It is a mint canceled, brilliant uncirculated Kennedy half dollar.
Okay.
So it's not a Kennedy half dollar. It's kind of like not the coin show. It used to be, but it's not. For those of you who watched VeggieTales, VeggieTales, it was like, what's the Cebu? Well, it's kind of like a cow, but it's not. That's what this is. It's kind of like a half dollar, but it's not. If you look at it, you can see some of the details. You can see the fact that it has a 2 in the date, so it means it's from this century at least.
Right.
That's pretty much it. That's all you can make out. You can see his nose. You can see a little bit of hair. A little bit of liberty because it basically takes up the whole rim. And then on the reverse side, very little design element. There's a little bit of half dollar, but this has been pushed. It almost looks like it was pushed into a kitchen magician.
Yeah, kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's like it's been waffle cut, and it's been, so they completely waffled it. And here's my thing: it's that it bothers me that they would make these and then destroy them. But as you so eloquently pointed out on Monday, maybe the planchets were wrong in some way. Maybe they were light. I don't really know if that's the case. It's the only thing that would make sense to me. But they're $half. Nobody's going to use them in vending machines. Nobody's going to, I don't know.
Yeah, but like I said, they have to have some sort of quality control. I mean, they have specs that the coins have to be in, and if they're not in those specs, then they get rejected.
No, they won't roll, and they won't do all the things.
Right, they won't stack, they won't roll. So, I mean, that's probably what this was. It could have been a couple other things. It could have been that there was some sort of defect with the dies. It could have been a double die. It could have been, could have been something else. But most likely, it's because there was just some sort of defect in the coin of the planchet that caused it to be a substandard product.
Yeah, and so as a substandard product, it was eliminated.
Yep.
And being a clad coin, you really can't melt it.
Yeah, it has to go back for processing.
What
and
you can do with it, So I mean, yeah, you can melt it, but it'll cost you more money to melt it than it's worth.
Right.
So yeah, now you can turn it into what?
Scrap or a doorstop or a cool collectible that Mike has in his hand.
Yeah. Well, this one is certified by NGC, and I personally think it is the coolest thing to walk into the shops this week.
That's pretty cool. Mine's cooler, but that's pretty cool.
Well, I don't think so.
We'll see.
What you got for me, homie?
Well, this week at the coin shop, we were really, really busy, and we bought a gigantic load of buffalo nickels, 30,000 coins to be exact. And luckily for me, they were all sorted by date in rolls. So they all were in rolls that had dates on them. Made it real easy for me to pick out the rolls that I knew might have some cool double dies in them. And in fact, the 1935s did. I picked 11 1935 double die nickels out of some rolls of nickels at the office. So, not one, not two, 11.
Now, I'm not saying that the coin itself is cooler, but I'm saying it's absolutely amazing that out of a roll of 40 nickels, you find 11 double dies.
Oh, no. This wasn't a one roll of 40 nickels.
Oh, okay.
This was approximately 80 rolls of 40 nickels.
35 Ds?
No, 35 Ps. This double die...
There were like 80 rolls of 35 Ps?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
It was 30,000 coins, Mike. It was a lot.
Lower percentage. It's a way lower percentage.
Yes.
I was just, looking at.
And I also included in this a coin that was the previous coolest thing. This was a coin that we bought out on the road that ended up going into an MS64 holder. But I included pictures of the doubling so that you guys could see it and maybe go out and find some of these for yourself. I have probably found, including these coins, probably 24 of these over the years, just looking for them and knowing that they're out there. A lot of dealers don't take the time to look at their coins in their stock for them, but they're worth. They're in the gray sheet now. I think they're worth. They start about $40 a piece. So
and they're relatively clear. They're easy to see.
It's a good sized double die, yeah. And the higher the grade coins, you can actually see it, kind of rotating around the United States of America and into E Pluribus Unum. And on the MS64, you could actually really see it in like the buffalo shoulder. It's a pretty good double die. It's a pretty big spread. So that was, it took me the better part of half a day to go through all those coins, but I was able to do it, and that's what I ended up with. So that was my coolest thing this week.
So give us your opinion. Who won that one? Who won that competition? Matt with his 35p double die that, if I'm not mistaken, was the coolest thing a year ago or so, or the brand new waffle piece.
6 different kinds of fries waffle.
Magician, the kitchen magician.
Magician, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we should put that up on eBay like that. I'll tell you, it probably sell.
Kitchen Magician canceled coin.
Yes.
NJC Brilliant Uncirculated. I love it.
Absolutely.
Well, if you want, we've got a little time. We can answer some questions. I just really was stoked to show you the coins that I found.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you did. Yes, of course. I really do like doing the.
Well, let's close the show out with some questions. I love questions. So I'll let you log into the email.
Well, you've got. Yeah. Okay. Let me see what I can find.
I'll let you log into the email.
I'll be back.
Click, 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 click. Oh, password, captcha. Here we go.
No. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's I was smart too.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Well, while you're doing that, how's work been going the last couple weeks? You know, you said we might turn your hair pink at work, but things going good. You doing well? You enjoying
I love
the shop life?
Well, I mean, the shop life. You can take or leave that. I really love the people I work with already.
Well, that makes it easy right off the bat.
It really does. Yeah. So I'm trying to look through the email that we got. We got one that's trying to solicit something. So okay. Hey, Mike and Matt.
Hey.
Excuse me. Do year-end mint marks matter anymore? They were originally added for quality control, but is anyone at the Mint really looking to make sure that all the nickels from Denver in 1998 are still looking appropriately good? Is there really that big a difference between Philadelphia and Denver coins? I feel like the year and mint marks are just added for collectors, which sort of makes them false. Thanks again, Mark Sure.
Well, there's a couple of answers to that, really. A, the Mint is the biggest coin dealer in the world. So if they make something, they want you to collect it. Because if you collect it, stick it away, put it in a book by date and mint mark, then it's out of circulation. And they've done their job. And they have to make more coins. Seniorage on that kind of stuff is always great. But the second answer to that is, I guess there's probably still some accounting that has to go on, that they are required to put the date and mint mark, and I'm sure it's legislated that way as well. But I suspect that there is some accounting of the materials used, the seniorage of the coins, that can be done and should be done on coins that they put out every year. So that's my answer. I don't know. Mike might have a little better grasp on that one than I do, because that's his cup of tea.
Well, I don't know about that, but okay. So I look at it from absolutely different points of view, but I like those, and I think that they're both valid. But okay, so
I like your points; they're valid, but they're also wrong.
Well, no, I look at it from a different point of view. So, I don't look at it as the Mint being a coin dealer. I look at the Mint being a supplier of coin for commerce.
Sure.
And the public being just the public, and them collecting it started really independent of the Mint. And so I don't think that the Mint started out doing things, in order to facilitate collecting. I don't think they've ever really done that up until most recently, right? I think that the majority of what they've done has been to actually facilitate their job, which is commerce, and put enough coin out there for people. Now, as far as putting marks on the coins to differentiate the mints, they dropped those during 65, 6, and 7, and it made coin collectors upset. So clearly there was some capitulation to us, in order to restore them. But I don't think that any of the coins with mint marks since that point have really made much of a difference, other than the special edition ones that have been made especially by the Mint anyway.
Like the W quarters.
Right, like the W quarters, like the S Mint circulation quarters, like the reverse proofs, enhanced circulators, all of those kind of things. But when we're talking about actual just circulation strike coins, the mint marks and stuff like that, look, they were made in the coins were made in San Francisco because the gold was there in San Francisco. The silver was there in Carson City. They made silver dollars in Carson City. There was gold discovered in the East. That's why they built the Charlotte and Dahlonega mints. So it's not like they propped up these places with the mint, with the government doing that. It was done because the actual metal was there and it was more secure
Yeah.
to mint it on the spot.
It was done out of necessity early on, but nowadays it doesn't necessarily matter.
Right now it doesn't matter. So now I don't think it really does make a difference other than to create. Yes, it's like the rare limited edition. I want the 2009 P nickel. That kind of thing.
Wow, you sound kind of jaded on that. You're really starting to sound like me on that particular answer. I'm really
Well, I've always
surprised.
been that way on those kind of things.
Well, I mean, okay. Okay.
I mean, I am getting jaded. Who knows? I mean, I've been in the coin business, what, 4 months?
Oh, time flies when you're having fun, huh?
Yeah, I'm already drinking heavily. So yeah, I mean that's just my opinion. So I think that at one point it really did matter. I think that you have to look at much older coinage though for it to really make sense, Mark.
Well, but like I said, with those W quarters, they're trying to make it matter again. They're trying to get people to look at their change.
They're trying, but that's more artificial, right?
Well, I mean, it's manufactured rarity for sure.
Yeah, but take for example like the 1901 S quarter, the absolute king of the 20th century coins, right?
True.
There's a lower mintage on the 13S. Why is the 01S more higher priced? Why?
Why? More desirable.
Well, and it's also because the survival rate of them is lower.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
So there are a lot fewer of them. But you don't want an 01D. You don't want an 01O. You want an 01S. So I don't know. I think that's what makes coin collecting. You want a 16D Mercury dime. You don't want a 16 plane. You don't want a 16S.
And even with the astronomical numbers of coins that they make, it's still possible that something happens as to where a unintended rarity occurs. I'm thinking about
or a 55 double die.
Yeah, like a 55 double die, or even the Wisconsin extra leaf quarters. That was something that I don't think the mint did on purpose, but it happened. So I don't know. I mean, the fact that
think that had that not been next to an ear of corn, that it would have been treated as a scratch or something like that.
Well, I mean, they're large. They're good enough size that they would have been picked up no matter what coin they were on.
Well, like I said, but they seem to blend into the
Sure.
theme.
Oh, sure. Yeah. There's people argue about that all the time, whether it was intentional or not. I think it was intentional, but it's possible that it wasn't.
Yeah. Who knows?
But
so like the 08 reverse of 07 W
Silver Eagles.
Silver Eagles, unintended mule. Those are cool. They're great. Those are errors.
And it's possible that something like that happens down the road, and the only way to be able to find that is by having dates and mint marks on coins. But again, I digress. It's
this whole business with the Silver Eagles that were minted at Philadelphia, the emergency coinage. Oh my God! So all right, I like to share content. We love to share content at the Coin Show. There's a gentleman online, Coin Help You. His name's Daniel Malone. He's a really cool guy. He runs Portsmouth Coin Shop in Ohio, and he does these videos on YouTube all the time. And he did one where he literally had a HSN video running, and he would stop it. And he'd say, "Okay, I hate when people do this. I really hate when he's going bit by bit with Mizek going, this and this, and it was just great. It was absolutely priceless.
I might have to watch that.
It was a featured video on Roundtable TV.
Huh, nice. That's another project you've been kicking on. How's that going?
That one is it's going. It's we're pushing a rock uphill.
Can we expect some content soon? How's that?
I wouldn't expect any very soon.
But it's coming.
Well, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, you're privy to that.
Maybe.
But no, not anything soon.
Right. Well, hopefully, I'm excited for it. I'm ready to see it.
We're doing some things. So honestly, if you're really curious about Roundtable Television, I will tell you that It's a Facebook page. You go and you just kind of check that out. You can like the page, and I post a featured video every single day there from one of my favorite YouTube content creators or us at the Coin Show. So like tomorrow, this podcast is going to be on there.
Cool.
That's going to be the featured video. So every day there's something different. It's always educational. It's always something really cool, something I think you'll like.
Yeah, I think you guys are just trying to like kind of aggregate the coin content that's out there for people to see.
I am trying to aggregate responsible content.
Right.
That's really the problem is there are too many people that either have an axe to grind or that have
just want to get views.
Yeah, just either want to get views, they're sensational, or just flat out don't know what they're talking about and aren't willing to do the research to know.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
So the silver stackers and people like that, look, there are legitimate reasons to buy and stack silver. Absolutely. But there's a strategy to doing it. And these guys never talk about that. And as a matter of fact, I've started watching some of them because I'm trying to find content creators. So I'm watching all these different kinds of coin videos and stuff. And I'm watching these silver stacker videos, and it's like, it's all just look at what I've got. Look at what I've got. So what? Who cares?
Yeah, nobody cares.
I'll throw them a fish.
Yeah. Wow. Well, cool. No, I'm excited about that. I'm ready to see. I know you're kind of heading this, so I'm ready to see what you can do. I know. I believe in you, Mike.
I'm sure you do.
I believe in you.
We've done this before. So yeah, I'm kind of doing the same thing. It's gonna be a slow and arduous process, but I think one that's worthwhile. And I think that I think we can actually make this happen, but we got to make some other things happen first.
Right. Cool. Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the process and everything you're doing. So,
how about some of the Facebook questions we had last night?
Without playing that loudly over, I won't be able to access them.
Wait, hold on a second. I'll go look.
Yeah, unfortunately, all my audio goes through the board here. And
check it out. Friends of the Coin Show, the podcast extraordinaire.
I don't know. You guys watching the video can see my son and I got a little organizy the other day and put some shelving units in here. Now you get to see more of my clutter. It's an organized clutter now, but it's we built 4 shelves to store good junk on. It's fun though. I like having him around. He's 10 now, so he's at that age where he wants to do what Dad does. And wants to hang out with me and do manly things. He calls it doing man things because he's getting to that age where he's getting interested in certain things. So it's fun having him around and exposing him to what I do all the time. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean that's great for you. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where I don't know. My son never really got into that stuff. He never really tagged along after Dad, going, "Hey, Dad, it's like I want to do things like you do." It's like.
He helped me build shelves today. It was a good time. He even I saw something happen in his eyes, which has happened in every man in this world's eyes. He slipped with a screwdriver and stuck himself in the hand and almost said a bad word.
Ooh.
I know. He's growing up so fast.
I thought you were going to say that he stepped on a rake and gave himself 2 acres.
No. But he said, "Gosh, darn it."
Wow.
I know. Right. It was
here we
sorry,
go.
Now I'm done filling, but that was my story for today.
Well, you and your son are absolutely.
We have a good time together. I enjoy everything that he.
I'm quite certain you're a pretty good dad. I've seen you with him a lot.
I try.
Let's see. Isaiah Hageman asks, "Have you looked at the book I sent you?" So Monday, I promised Isaiah that I would go and I would get the book.
And you totally forgot.
Oh, no. There's the envelope.
There it is. Okay.
There's the empty CD envelope. It's a really nice book. You need to check it out, man.
I will.
We need to check it out before we talk to Isaiah.
Yes, I will. I'll get to it, but we're at the beginning of a silver run, and I don't have a heck of a lot of time to do much of anything these days, so...
Yeah, I made a mistake on some silver today.
Oh, we'll talk about that on the next Not the Coin Show podcast.
Yeah, I sold some at 15 times. Yeah. Melt 17 and a half. So
yeah, that wasn't good.
no, my boss was not happy. All right, so let's see. How many mated pair error coins have you had through your shop?
I've had a bunch, probably 2 dozen-ish sets. I like them. One of my favorite kinds of coins out there, mated pairs. So, if you don't know what a mated pair is, so think about the press. You have your hammer die and your anvil die. Stamping coins. Coins fed in one side, stamp out the other side. What happens is sometimes a coin gets fed in, gets struck, and then doesn't get all the way out, and is kind of hanging over the edge of the chamber. And another coin slides in either on top or underneath it, and then gets struck. So this causes two coins that are forever mated, not necessarily attached, but forever bear impressions from each other and from the dies, and they go out of the machine, and sometimes they end up together in a bag of coins. A lot of times they don't, but sometimes they do, and that's what a mated pair is two coins that fit together perfectly like a puzzle piece because of an error in the striking process.
And how rare are they?
They're pretty scarce. You find them on cents pretty often. I've had them on quarters, nickels, and cents, I think. I don't think I've had any dimes.
Typically sell for?
You can find a mated pair of cents and not real high grade for $300, $400, something like that. But
it's not exactly beginner territory, but it's not bad.
It's not prohibitive, but it's definitely not. If you're brand new into air coins, stick to off centers and broad strikes for a while before you go buying some mated pairs, because people actually, I've seen them faked before on eBay, where people will find one coin that was two coins that were in that similar process, but that don't go together, and they just kind of almost look like they go together, and they fake them and put them on eBay as a mated pair when they're not. So you got to watch that stuff. But yeah, that's me and mated pairs.
Well, we had in our shop, we had a different type of mated pair. We had a Kennedy half.
Okay.
And it had a cud.
Okay.
And a piece of the die was recovered.
Ooh, that's cool.
You have the chunk of die, and then you have the coin with the cud, and they're certified together by PCGS.
I want that. How much is it?
Oh yeah, that's right. You had said that. We have to talk about that.
Yeah, I want that.
Let's talk about that off the air.
I kind of might sort of want that. That sounds super cool.
It is super cool. That should have been the coolest thing.
It might be if I buy it.
Let's see. And let's see. John Rebick asked a question for Mr. Matt Dinger. What are your future numismatic goals?
Oh, geez. Just to exist and have fun at what I do and enjoy the coin shop every day.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
So are you thinking of grooming one of your children to take over your business?
I will let them make that decision. If they find an interest and want to be a part of the family business, that's great. My family is full of entrepreneurs on both sides, so there are several business opportunities for my children to go into if they so desire.
Or if they want to go out and make it on their own, the world needs yours too.
That's right. So while I would like that, it's definitely not something that I'm going to force on them. So.
And lastly, we'll go with this. No. I got two more.
Okay.
So let's see. This is also John Rebick. This one is for me. Who is the most influential person in your numismatic journey? And I will answer it more quickly this time. It's absolutely Matt. There's no question about it. And it has to do with the fact that with him kind of bringing me into this, it opened up my horizons. It made me really kind of process and share and become a researcher and a curiosity, and it gave me drive to do this, and that's turned into all kinds of different opportunities. So that's absolutely Matt, no question about it.
Well, I appreciate your kind words.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you, Matt.
No, thank you, buddy.
Lastly, John Barton, what do y'all think of the satin finish mint set coins from 2005 to 2009?
That's you. I'm not even going to answer that one.
Whoa, Matt doesn't think of them. Okay, John.
They say far out of my brain.
I will tell you this. It was very nice of the Mint to make these special dies and treat them specially and treat the blanks specially and make the coins really super nice. But they're not circulation strike coins. And so you can't look at them from a rarity standpoint. Every single one of them is MS68 or 69 or a 70, specimen, right? And they're just not, they're not something I'd collect, right? The 2009 nickels, you see them in shops and stuff like that, and they're like $3, and you're, oh yeah, I scored, and it's like, and then you get it over, you realize it's a special mint set coin, so you're a little disappointed on that. So I'm not a big fan. I like the production quality of the coin, but the coin itself is just no. I much rather have, and probably I think that the mint set coins were what prompted me to start saving fresh mint state coins out of circulation. I've been doing it since 1998. I have these baby food jars, and every year I just take one. And every time I get changed since the current date, that's really, really bright, brand new, fresh, mint state.
Like they just cracked the roll and.
Right. So I take those and I throw them into a baby food jar. And it's like at the end of the year, I have some dimes, some nickels, each mint, some quarters, some, whatever I come across.
And what does the baby food do to the coins?
No, there's no baby food still in the jars.
I had to. Sorry.
It was delicious.
I had to.
Yeah, I might add it was delicious. So, yeah, I mean that's pretty much what we've got for the coin show this week. For episode 166-ish. We would like to thank our Facebook staff. We'd like to thank Ernesto Aguilar and we would like to thank Justin Irvin for all the hard work that they do behind the scenes of the coin show, for wrangling stuff during our podcast, for posting to Facebook, for fielding questions, filtering things. I mean, it's like they really do yeoman's work for us.
Keeping us motivated and pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, well, they definitely make a sounding board for a lot of things. It's nice to have opinions of stuff that's not ours, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
thanks, guys.
We would really like for you to support our show. Go to patreon.com/thecoinshow, and if you support at a $5 a month or better level, you'll have access to the Not the Coin Show podcast on the off weeks. And that's where Matt makes Mike laugh. It's really kind of a bizarro world. It's kind of fun.
You're right. It is kind of a bizarro world.
Bizarro world. That's kind of where it started, wasn't it?
It is. It's completely not. I mean, sometimes it's coin related, and sometimes it's absolutely nothing to do with coins.
Coin show, yeah.
Yes. So it's just whatever we feel like talking about. It's more of an unscripted, unsegmented show.
And I'm quite certain that Matt would love for you to go and subscribe on YouTube.
I would love that more than anything else on this planet right now, for you to go subscribe on YouTube so that we can make Mike's hair pink. What about the eyebrows? Can we at least do the eyebrows?
No.
Oh, come on.
Every other day.
Okay.
Bookie, I got those kind of eyebrows now.
All right.
We're going to do this, and maybe I'll spike it.
Oh, my God. That would be so amazing. I can't wait for this.
It's going to be awesome, but it's going to be messed up by the headphones anyway.
But it'll be pink.
Oh, maybe I'll just put them back like this,
right? Oh, that's great. That's great. Anybody else we need to say anything to before we wrap this thing up?
No, but thanks to all who listened. Without you, this entire endeavor would be completely pointless.
1,000%. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yes.
You've been listening to the Coin Show podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nottleman. The boys will be back soon with another informative and entertaining episode. Meanwhile, you can follow the show on social media at The Coin Show on Twitter and Instagram, and on Facebook at facebook.com/thecoinshow. You can also join their private group. Just search Facebook groups for friends of the Coin Show and request access. But if you want to take it to the next level and support the Coin Show podcast, you can go to www.patreon.com/thecoinshow. If you subscribe at the $5 a month level or higher, you'll have access to Not the Coin Show podcasts on the off weeks, as well as other surprises reserved for our patrons. Visit our website at coinshowradio.com or download our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or wherever you download your podcasts. This has been the Coin Show Podcast.